In this module, we're going to be focusing all things lead generation because I have countless conversations with clients, prospects, other business owners from a variety of different industries and a variety of different revenue points that I keep hearing time and time again. I'm not generating enough leads. And if you don't have enough leads, you can't generate enough sales. And if you don't have enough sales, well, we all know what that does to our business. So let's dive right into it because I have a ton of great information. So get your pen and paper ready. Let's jot down some notes, shall we? So, speed to lead. I want to touch on this, and this is not my source. This is from the Harvard Business Review, MIT. You can go definitely research this and Google it. But I want to focus on the 5-minute rule. This is critical to lead generation. Yet I see so many business owners and operators getting this completely wrong. We live in an era now where everything is instantaneously. Think about it. We have the world in our fingertips in our cell phone where you can get every piece of information, anything delivered to you, and anything purchased in a matter of seconds. So why is it that business owners don't treat the same sense of urgency? Well, I'll jump into it momentarily. But I want to focus back on this 5-minute rule. I want you to take a self-audit on your business. If I were to call it right this moment, A, would someone pick up? B, would someone respond? C, how fast do you get back to them if you aren't able to respond? And D, if someone were to inquire on a website, social media, wherever your posting platforms are, how fast are you replying to those inquiries? And they have done the research that 5 minutes is that sweet spot. Now, here's what's wild. 78% of clients buy from the first business that responds. Digest that for a moment. You just have to respond in a timely manner. But here's the thing. When the client reaches out to your business, wherever it may be, phone, email, website inquiry, form, whatever the thing may be, they are actually reaching out to multiple companies. Unless you are so unique to that industry and you're only one, congratulations, you dominate that market. But for the most of us, we have competition. And here's the thing. The clients are not as loyal as they once were. They don't always rely just solely on reviews. They are important, but now with everybody having plethora of 5-star reviews and great feedback online, well, they'll just skip to the next company. So you are missing out on a ton of clients simply by not responding in time. But here's a fun question for all of you. What do you think the average lead time is of a response rate for a company? While I'm getting my marker ready, I'd be very curious to see what response you came up with. How many hours? It's not 4. 47 hours it takes the average business to respond to a client inquiry. This is totally unacceptable. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news or the person with the harsh reality, but this is why you are struggling in your business. You are not getting back to your clients, your customers, your inquiries in a timely manner. So why should they trust to hand over their hard-earned money to your business? Because there is businesses out there that are absolutely excelling at lead generation and speed to lead. The the prospect is 100 times more likely to connect with you if you respond within 5 minutes. Let's sit with this for a moment. You spend money on ads, you spend money on forms, you spend money on getting your name out there, and then when people inquire, you drop the ball and don't reply. And then what you're doing is blaming Facebook ads don't work, Google ads don't work. Why aren't these? When in fact, your CRM is filling up and your pipeline is filling up with very, very good leads. Again, this comes from the Harvard Business Review and MIT. Go look up this information. These stats, these facts, their figures are in there for a reason. But why do I want to stress this one so much? Because I have, like I said, hundreds of these conversations with business owners, operators per quarter. And my clients will say, "Oh, you don't understand. Like I'm just not getting leads." And we quickly dissect. And you know what I do? On the spot, I will open up Google or ChatGPT or Claude and I will type in their business. And how easy can I find it? Remember, we also live in an era where, and I will touch on this, our clients are very impatient, some even very lazy. And that's not a fault to them. The market, the world, the economy has made it that way. And if you are not making it easy for them, they will just swipe and go on to the next website. So as I'm doing this exercise with my clients, I open up their Google. And if I can't find you in the first 2 tabs, 3 tabs in Google, you need to work on that. Now, this is a topic for another day, SEO, but work with your software developer or reach out to me, and you need to get yourself at the top no matter what. Because when was the last time that you actually clicked on the second page of Google? Exactly. So again, we're just focusing on leads and response rates because these are something that we can so easily control and can change tomorrow. Well, you don't understand. I'm very busy. I can't respond in a timely manner. Well, here's the beautiful thing. If you are busy, that means you are generating revenue. And if you are generating revenue, you definitely have money to reinvest that back into your business, whether it's through AI, bots that can help respond in a timely manner, or here's another great thing. You can hire somebody to respond on your behalf. Doesn't even necessarily need to be someone in your home country. It can be someone overseas for a very inexpensive cost to answer your phone and to deal with inquiries on social media or your website. So I want to just move on to the source and how important these are. So many people don't like to give out information over the phone. I don't know why it is. I'm a big proponent of whatever you're seeking, I can provide. The reason why is because information is free. As a business owner, you should be giving this out. What you have to then turn and sell is the implementation. So many business owners have infinite amount of information. They can get it from any source, YouTube, Google, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, doesn't matter. The information's out there. But why are so many business owners struggling? They have all the information they could ever dream of and want because they lack the implementation and the execution. That's where you come in. So if I'll give an example, a company is struggling to generate business for their or sales for their business. I'm actually going to give a real life example. I have a rental property and the air conditioner broke in the middle of a heat wave. I called and contacted 6 different companies. Okay. They all had equivalent Google reviews. They were all at the top of the search engine, all very good reviews, 5-star ratings, all that fun stuff. Do you know who the first person I hired to do the job? They weren't the cheapest, and they weren't even the best. It was the first person that could respond and get to the property. Now, I get it. Some business owners, you're super busy, can't get to the job. That is another topic for another day. But if you are so busy that you are pushing away business, you need to, as a business owner, figure out a way how you can multiply your business and scale. Maybe that means involving bringing on new employees. Maybe it involves scaling your operation. There should be no excuse on why you're turning away business, especially in today's era. Now, back to my information versus implementation. Be the source. So if they are struggling to get an answer to their problem, back to my air conditioner issue, I needed it done as quick as possible because I did not want to leave my tenants in the heat. So I grabbed the first person that had availability and that they were reputable. It wasn't like I just grabbed some bum off the street. They were reputable. And guess what? They got the business. Very, very simple. At that price point, I didn't care if I was overpaying or underpaying or whatever it was. I just wanted it fixed. Now, here's the beautiful thing. The problem still was consistent. It happened again. They actually didn't get to the root cause of it. And I can understand they tried to fix one thing, it didn't work, and ended up involving a much bigger repair job. But here's what's interesting. The company that reached out to me for that initial fix said, oh, we can replace the entire air conditioner. But here's the issue. They couldn't get someone to do that in a timely manner. So I went with someone else. So sometimes speed to lead is not just a lead, but speed to job, because we are impatient. And as I said, clients are becoming less and less loyal. So that means that you need to open up the operation so that you're not losing a $3,000 or $4,000 air conditioning job because of simply 2 days. Imagine that. You lost out on $3,000 air conditioner job because of 2 days. How much are you leaving and not taking away from your business because of time? But I want to focus on this acronym. First, it's called FLAG. First, F-I-R-S-T. And the first one is FLAG. You need to identify and answer quickly what this person wants. Now, you can use questionnaires. You can have set questions when they call in. Hey, thank you so much for calling in. What can I do for you? I'm having XYZ problems. Perfect. Quickly having somebody delegated on the phone will obviously increase the response rate. Train staff on your phones to deal with this. Make sure that they know the business, not inside and out, but make sure they have a good grasp of the business. They are the face, they are the representation of your first initial contact with your business. And if they answer with low energy, don't say their name, they don't ask questions, they are really, really doing your business a disservice. And here's the craziest thing. In a couple of years, you won't even need to worry about it because AI is probably going to come and replace those jobs. Hate to break it. Next, initiate. So make contact. If you're unable to connect with that person, at least send them something, a text message, question. Hey, thank you so much. Saw that you called. Sorry we missed you. When is a good time to call back? That's it. Use AI to do it. Use a chatbot to do that. Whatever you need, just so that it shows that, hey, I'm on top of it. Let me know when we can reconnect. Or if you get the inquiry through a form, your website, or a text message, call the person right away. Right away. You are not bothering them. They're a hot lead. They want to know information. Stop bottlenecking it. Recognize, what do they seek? What information are they looking for? What can you help them with? Is it a product? Is it a service? Is it something that they could hopefully hire you for? Schedule. It's called BAMFAM. Book a meeting from a meeting. I love this one. I use this one all the time. I never let clients or prospects get off the phone without booking another meeting, especially if we haven't closed, because I want to make sure I'm the source of information. By them taking time to go think about it, well, do you think that I would be, as the owner, be able to provide all the answers to their questions? More so than the website that's out there. Of course, because you're the one that created the website. So why do I keep saying this? You are the source of information. So please share it. But remember, sell the implementation, sell the problem. Trigger. If you are unable to connect with them, this is where your CRM can come in. Whichever one you're using, it should be triggering a workflow to say, hey, Let's build a follow-up sequence so that we can get connected with them, so we don't abandon them by accident. I see this all the time in businesses where I will say, take me through your entire process of when an inquiry comes in to the point where they close them. And what happens when they don't connect? A lot of businesses are missing this in the follow-up. And I'm not saying that you directly have to call them, but keep them top of mind. They inquired about a problem. Don't let them go off into the abyss called the internet and try to solve it themselves. You are there to solve it. Funny how that works. And the greatest thing is, the faster you solve the problem, the more they'll pay you. Because also, how likely are they to buy again? A lot of times it comes down to, obviously beyond the product and service, but things you can control. Your response rate, the quality of your responses. If you say, I don't know, thanks for inquiring, and you're in HVAC and you can't answer questions about furnaces and air conditioners, you might want to do your homework. Be an extremely knowledgeable source for whatever industry niche you're in. Access. How can they access you? Especially in today's world. If you know this is a great quality lead and you're the business owner, give them your cell phone number. And if you don't want phone calls coming off hours, well then put an AI chatbot in place, or again, hire somebody to deal with those call inquiries at all hours of the day. Don't be the bottleneck in your own business. Business owners, you're guilty of this. The reason why you're so burnt out is because you're trying to do everything. You're wearing so many hats. So you're trying to be the customer sales rep. You're trying to be the sales closer. You're trying to be the lead generation. And of course, your phone's blowing off the hook. But that's a good problem to have if you're getting a lot of business out of it. And if you get to that time and place and that point, it's now starting, you have to start to hire people. This is how businesses scale and grow. If you want to be a one-man or one-woman army, all the power to you. But again, you will always continue to be the bottleneck in your business. So where are your leads coming from? VSL, video sales letter, website, social media, phone number. And here's the thing, if they have a phone number on your website, on Google, or wherever the case may be, make sure someone answers it. How frustrating is it as for a client when you are trying to get through to a business and they don't pick up their phone? It just rings and rings and rings. I was taught back in the day, you've got 2 rings and it better be picked up. I know it can be a little strict, and obviously there are times and places where you just absolutely cannot answer the phone. But your voicemail can. And then as soon as that triggers a voicemail, your CRM or your AI automation should automatically be able to send out an email or a text message to the person saying, sorry, we missed you. Love to get connected. When's a good time to call you? That's it. They just want to know that they've been acknowledged and been heard. But here's the thing. So many business owners are creating unnecessary hurdles in their lead flow and in their lead generation. They either overcomplicate the situation by putting way too many questions in their forms, that's for one, asking for very personal information right out of the gate when it's not really required, phone, name, email, problem, maybe a couple questions. But here's the thing, I get it. As business owners, if you're getting so many inquiries and they're unqualified leads, well, that's what you can do is put some resistance into place. So what does resistance mean? Well, if they aren't even willing to fill out a form, they probably weren't the client for you. And if they weren't even able to fill out the form in its entirety and answer all the questions that were asked of them, probably not another strong lead, maybe not someone for them. Or here's another beautiful thing. Say they filled it out and then didn't hit submit. There's this thing called abandoned cart, and there's a ton of software and CRMs out there that can do it. So even if the person filled out their information, it still goes into your database. And then you can trigger a workflow saying, hey, John, notice that you didn't submit. Just curious, What can we do help to get you to book a call, whatever the case may be? Don't let issues get in the way of your own business that maybe you don't understand. I know a lot of people are scared of AI, but I'm telling you, there are so many amazing things that AI and software can do for your business. And it just involves paying a little bit of money to either get someone to implement it, build it for you, or here's the other great thing, go learn it. It's really not that complicated. Ask ChatGPT. Because back to my point, our clients are impatient and some are very lazy. And I don't have them to blame, but rather the environment that has been created for us. Think of Amazon, one of the biggest online platforms on the planet. And the reason why so many people love it is because it offers exactly what they're looking for, and it gives it in such an incredibly fast speed. One click, it's on your porch. They've removed all of the resistance to the purchasing process. And it's one of the most complicated things called logistics. Amazon's figured it out for us because we know the simpler it is to buy something, the better and more we'll buy. Create that in your business. Okay? What can you do? AI. There's chatbots. So as soon as someone comes up onto your website, hey, this is Anna, very nice to meet you. What can I do for you today? The AI bot are getting really, really good. Hey, can you book in a call? Even the AI chatbots are getting really good. So ones that voice call you. Qualifiers, back to the forums. Imagine I was able to give you a AAA lead that landed right in your lap. Would you drop what you're doing if you knew you had a $10,000 lead in your hand? Because some of these contracts are. And you guys and gals are ignoring them. And then sitting there complaining to me saying, well, I'm not getting any business. I'm not getting any leads. Software, ManyChat, there's tons of them out there. DM me, money, and it will send you all the information. Again, be the source of information. Stop creating a bottleneck. So whatever the lead source is, make sure that you're providing them the data that they seek. Here's another great thing. As you go through more and more of these conversations, these qualifying calls, the calls that come in, the website inquiries, and also, side note, these should all be recorded, by the way. Every single piece of that should be documented because you want to see trends. And the more you start seeing the same question get asked, well, here's another beautiful thing. You can prep your telephone person to be ready. Here are the 5 questions we seek the most. Here's how you respond to them and train them on those responses. Remember, the person on the other end of the phone is your first contact of your company. Are they representing the brand and the business to the way you like? You can train them on this. And then as well, you can put a Q&A on your website, or here are the questions you might ask before they even jump to it. Stop making the contact difficult. If I were to Google your business right now, how easy would it be for me to contact your business? Is there a form to fill out? Is there a phone number? Is there a website? And I will take some of my own advice from this. I will admit the inquiry to get through on my website, not the easiest. And I know I need to streamline that and make that more efficient. However, if you Google my name, you can easily find my website, phone number, Google reviews, testimonials, photos, everything that you need right then and there. There's no reason why people can't contact me in a seamless manner. I'll even dive it one step further. And I've touched on this in previous podcasts, but it's very, very, very important. I just finished an absolute wonderful event. I was the MC and a speaker, but I also was networking with a lot of the individuals. There was multi-thousands in attendance. And I was absolutely flabbergasted at how many people, A, were still handing out business cards, and B, would ask me, Well, how do I get connected with you on LinkedIn? How do I get connected with you on Instagram? How do I get connected with you on your website? Whatever the case may be. Make it simple. Get a QR code, have them scan it, and then every piece of information you could ever want is right there. And you have the permission to reach out to me and I'll show you mine. All it takes is DM me, find me on my website, send me a text message, WhatsApp me, and I will show you what it works. Stop creating the bottleneck. One click and every piece of information you ever need about me is in there. Okay? Think of it like Linktree, but way, way better. I use an app called Popl, P-O-P-L. Highly recommend you look into that one. I have no affiliation with it, so please don't worry, but do your research. Again, phone number. If you do not want to be contacted in off hours, have a secondary phone number that at least they could possibly leave a voicemail or somebody else could manage and maintain, especially if you're a business that deals with multiple time zones and different hours. Again, the clients are lazy. If they can't get a hold of you, they're not going to call you the next business day. They're going to forget, their life's going to be busy, and things will move on, and then you missed out on that very, very warm lead. Voicemail, please. The amount of times I've called companies and the voicemail is full. This is very sad. You're running a business and you can't even clear up your voicemail? Really? Have this open. Make sure that you can get in contact. They can get in contact with you. And once you do get a voicemail, respond quickly. Okay? Comes in, you're going to reply to all your voicemails in the morning. Or if you can't, have someone that does it. Speed to the lead. You're already behind. You're already 47 something hours behind. Don't be the business that takes 2 days to respond to their prospects and their clients. It just pisses them off and you create the bottleneck in your business. The example I always like to use, and maybe I'll end this one on a note, is one that I learned from a past mentor back in the day. He asked me if I've ever stayed at a Four Seasons, which I have, in Maui. And it was one of the greatest hotel experiences I've ever had in my life. And he asked, what made it so special? Beyond the beautiful grounds, the great restaurants, I'm like, it was the service. No matter what they did, they responded extremely fast. I had a broken lamp. Light wouldn't turn on. They had a service clerk person in there within 20 minutes of that phone call. And I was down at dinner. They said, hey, go swing by the bar. By the time we come back up, it will all be fixed. How do you think that made me feel? These are all solvable in business. No matter what business you are in. Put the right people in place. Remember, the front of house staff or the person that's answering the phone calls or the first touch point in your business, make sure they're well trained up and know exactly what they are expected to do. So in summary, speed to lead, absolutely insanely important to your business. And I think it is one of the easiest ways to generate more business and more revenue, more sales. Just answer people in an extremely fast manner and watch what it does for your business. If you can't, utilize AI. Remember, what was the information that you're putting out through VSL, social media, website, phone numbers? Is it resonating with your business? And if it isn't, please update it. If you have an outdated website, well, time to fix it. Again, no excuses. AI and a little bit of money can solve a lot of those problems. But then most importantly, you are the source of information. Stop being the bottleneck in your business and sell the service, product that does the implementation and the solution that your clients so desperately seek. I hope that was helpful. I had a ton of fun talking about it. I absolutely love lead generation, love the sales system, love the frameworks as well. If you've got questions, drop me a line. Find me on Instagram at Kyle Guthro, KyleGuthro. Send me a DM, reference this video, and I can show you how you can generate more revenue, more sales in your business. And I can't wait to see you on the next module.